interview.
Really good interview. I thought he did a great job. Very lively. What are you doing?
I just had to clear my throat.
What's the dog doing? What? Okay.
The dog's fine.
No, what was I saying?
Jim Mikowski did a great job. Very lively interview with Paul Taurus, or whatever his name is, who's a CPA, by the way. Those are some of the most exciting people in the world.
Wait a minute. Why are you being such a jerk about this? He's an attorney, isn't he?
No, he's a CPA.
Oh, okay. I thought he was an attorney. But anyway, I found out. I don't know why you did that.
Kind of like watching turtles have sex.
Why
I mean, it takes a long time.
Stop it. I like Jim an awful lot.
I
don't know why.
I love the guy.
This. I don't know that other guy. But apparently he's an
he's a CPA. He's doing his passion like us. He has got a talk show.
That's what I'm saying. Is I don't know why you're being mean about it.
I'm not being mean.
I got attacked by a dog, and you're over there giggling.
Just, hey, it's like my opinion, man.
This show has not gone well since the beginning.
No, it's...
Anyway, I found out that apparently James was charged for carrying a concealed weapon in his car because of video footage from his own camera.
Right.
That showed him maybe not putting it in a proper case.
Yeah. Maybe or maybe not.
Yeah, and he got convicted of that. Because of video, like it wasn't even, at least according to the interview, it wasn't the police saw a gun in the trunk that wasn't in a case.
Yeah.
It was video of him from earlier in the day,
right.
Maybe or maybe not putting it in a proper case.
Unloading his gun and doing everything correctly.
Absolutely insane. One of the mayoral candidates in Detroit who has a felony record was convicted of a felony because she was pulled over and there was a loaded handgun in her car.
Yeah. Victimless crime.
That was it.
Yeah.
She said she didn't know it was there. It came from the previous owner who was a gun owner, previous owner of the car, who was a gun carrier.
Yeah.
Seems like they could have proven that pretty easily.
My wife was a juror on a case like that in Kalamazoo in 1985, and it was a guy that got pulled over, and they found a loaded gun in his car. It had slipped forward underneath the seat. Okay. And they charged him with, and he said it wasn't his gun.
Okay.
And he said he didn't know it was there. And they went to trial, and his friend came in and admitted that it was his gun.
Oh, wow.
And it wasn't there, and the jury found him not guilty.
Wow.
Which is
Did
pretty
the friend
cool.
Get in trouble?
I suspect so.
Yeah.
This was before, shell issue, so it was unlikely they had concealed pistol license.
Don't talk to the police.
Right.
So, Brian, if you're found with one of my guns in your car, you're on your own.
I have a CPL. I'm covered.
Okay. Well,
unless it's used in a murder.
Yeah, well, all right.
And it will be.
Speaking of being used in a murder.
So, Detroit, great candidate pool. That's it. I'm done. What?
The other thing is, these are felons who have served whatever time the justice system decided they needed to serve.
Yeah. And well, you and I think share the opinion that if you're a felon and you're out and about and you've served your time, that you should be able to possess a firearm.
Yep.
And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. I wonder what they'll do. Whoever the new mayor is, I wonder if he'll be microchipped and have his Detroit workers microchipped.
Oh, I hope so.
I do too.
Everybody should be. I think you're referring to this. This is a vending machine company, which kind of makes sense. Oh, excuse me. It's 3 Square Market.
How those egg sandwiches sitting?
Yeah, they're sitting. They have like 80 employees. It's a pretty small company. Around 50 of them, I think it was like 44 was the last number I saw, agreed to be microchipped. To have a microchip that's put in between, on the kind of the back of your hand.
The fatty part of your
in between your pointy finger.
In your
thumb.
In your trigger finger.
Your
hammer trigger.
Yeah.
So it's a barrel.
Trigger?
It's the hammer trigger. So you have the longy finger is the barrel, and your thumb is the hammer, and then your middle finger is the trigger finger. That's what I meant to say.
How do you...
That's just it. Careful! Pointed that at me.
It's not loaded.
No, famous last words.
Anyway.
It's like, hey, y'all, watch this.
This, it's RFID. It's tiny.
Grain of rice.
They keep saying grain of rice. It's like 17 grains of rice. Or maybe some really puffed up grains of rice.
It's actually the size of a cue ball.
You can't use your hand anymore once it's inserted.
Is that a goiter?
It was approved by the FDA, which was good, like years ago in 2004. So it's still relevant technology. Yeah. They can open doors with it, like I don't know,
like
about
magic.
You, but it's
Alakazam.
You have to scan in with like I have a card.
Yeah,
RFID.
I did for years.
Use your hand. You can buy
vending machines that charges
food.
To your account.
Yeah, they have like a little break room.
Well, that's a great break
on there. It's pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
What do you think?
I wouldn't get one.
No?
No.
Why?
Because I don't want something like that inserted into my body.
Why?
I mean, there might be some things I want inserted, but not
they
that.
Said there's no GPS on them. They're not connected to the internet.
Not now.
Well, I mean,
how do you know that they can't flip a switch?
You don't know that.
And then, boom, all of a sudden it sends a signal to your brain and you assassinate the president.
Sounds like
Manchurian candidate thing.
Sounds like a good defense in court.
But I better go get one then.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. Would you?
No, absolutely not. No way. So the good news is it's voluntary. I have no problem with that.
For now.
Yeah, well, come on. It's a private company.
Yeah, they can demand that employees do it.
Sure, and the employees can go somewhere else.
Right.
I have no problem with a private company demanding that their employees do it either. I don't have a problem with that. So even if this, whatever, 3 Square Market or whatever it's called, if they demand every employee gets it, I'm okay with that.
Sure you are, because you're a little tyrant.
That's right.
And your company will demand that they get it.
You think so? You mean like my personal company?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. You're going to have to get one. We're going to have him on the Ad Show.
Oh, boy. Let's see.
Well, that's a good idea. I'll install a little thing so it's the only way you can turn your mic on. Is to have one in your hand. We'll get it on our lips.
So why would you want me to have one?
Well, you said you won't get one, so it's perfect.
Oh, yeah, because you're always saying turn your mic off.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, boy, that was tough. The NAACP, they issue a statewide travel advisory for Missouri. Why is that, Nate?
Yeah, well, racism.
Well, that makes sense.
There's a state law that just got signed that essentially requires like super duper evidence to investigate racism by the police, things like at least that's the argument that's what it's going to cause. So there was essentially a law passed that I think was intended to protect the police some more, to say you guys can do your job. We back the blue, right? That's not exactly what it was, but that was kind of the takeaway from it. So that was the big thing, is that there's going to be more racism in Missouri. There's already been cases of racism by the police, and it's dangerous for black people. NAACP is the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People.
Right.
I don't know if that's politically correct anymore.
It's not.
Colored. But they're holding on to it.
Yeah.
Because I guess that's okay.
It's a brand.
Yeah.
It's a brand.
They're saying don't travel there because, be very, very careful
if you do travel there.
And literally take bail money.
Yeah.
If you travel there.
Which will be confiscated.
I think, yeah, right. Don't take your bail money.
It'll be seized.
Give your bail money to, your friend that's staying home that's not going to be in Missouri so they can bail you out. You know what? Travel with a white person. Give them your bail money.
Well, what was the TV show that advised black people to put a white woman mannequin in your car because they're the least likely to be pulled over by the police?
Yeah. But
that's only the drivers. She's in the passenger side with a black man. They're going to pull him over.
I think it was Missouri, and I wasn't sure what this meant, but I saw in an article that said black people in Missouri were 75% more likely to be pulled over than white people in the state.
Huh.
I don't understand exactly what that means, but that seems...
They get pulled over a lot?
Seems
proportional?
Yeah, that. It does. We're going to take a break.
Well, it depends. What's the population of blacks in wherever they're being pulled over? If the police are in an area where it's 90% blacks, then 70% is low.
Well, and so...
Right?
And that's what the data actually suggests, is predominantly black areas are more heavily policed because they are generally in some cases there's more crime reported there.
I mean,
yeah, they are.
If you have high black populations, you want police patrol, right?
What does that mean?
Well, they're going to be police patrolling the city let's say you have a city boundary and you have a city police department, and 80% of the population is black.
Uh-huh.
And you pull over, your records show you're stopping 70% of the people you stop are black. That's actually a good thing. Because if it were equal, then it would be whatever the population of the black was. So if it's 80% black, it would be 80% of your people you pull over.
But I don't think 75% of Missourians are black.
No, if it's the whole state, yeah, I get that. My example was just in a particular population, and I mentioned that earlier. I said if it's a particular area that's being patrolled that's highly black, you're going to have more people that are pulled over that are black. Just like if there were more Hispanics or more, Romulans. Who knows?
Lizard people. Okay, we're taking a break now.
Really? It's a little early. No, remember, we got 4 minutes.
Early. No, we're good. We're taking
All
a
right.
break.
Well, we have trivia and this day in history.
Oh, good.
All right. So this one's going to be an easy one. I'm running out of trivia questions, so these are getting easier and easier.
Well, our buddy Dan and I are waiting for a good computer engineering question.
Oh, you'll never get one. No, I was looking at some thesis that was written by some computer engineer.
That's a good thesis.
Terrible.
How many people do you know that have written a thesis?
A lot. I hang around
millions.
with
actually.
Highly educated people. All right. I myself have written a thesis.
Not as good as mine.
Probably not. No. But good enough. And that's my motto.
That was my first published piece of literature.
Uh-huh. And it was published where?
At Kettering University.
That's not counting as published.
Sure it is.
No, it's not.
Oh, yeah. Look it up. It's in the Library of Congress.
No, it's not published. You
don't know what published means.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
And it's not just writing a thesis for requirement. None. You don't have to sell any, but you could have submitted.
I had to buy one.
You could have.
I had to pay to write
submitted your paper to a journal, and then you'd be published.
No, it was published in a journal.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, then you're published.
I told you that.
Well, I don't. You didn't tell me you went. No.
You know how much money I had to pay to get that thing published?
Oh my Lord!
And to write it and to do the work, I had to pay for that.
If you pay, it was more than $10. You got screwed.
It was a little bit more than $10.
Gosh. Well, it's about voice stuff. You going to talk about it?
No.
Okay, good. Whew, that's close.
It's not interesting.
Here is the trivia question for the week. Nate, what food?
Oh, I love food.
Item.
I'm going to get this one. Was
banned in the United States movie theaters in the 1920s.
Why was it banned?
I'm not going to tell you that.
All right.
A food was banned, though, in the 20s. So think of the roaring 20s, Prohibition, and food.
All right, we'll be right back.
Lock it in. And rip the knob off. Red State Talk Radio.
My Parents Open Carry, a pro-gun kids book from White Feather Press. 13-year-old Brenna and her parents spend their day in typical fashion. But what's not so typical is that Brenna's parents lawfully open carry handguns for self-defense. And the Strongs join a growing number of families who are standing up for their Second Amendment right and bringing gun ownership out of the closet. Order your copy of this unique kids book at myparentsopencarry.com.
It's a bumpy ride through the political jungle with Nate and Brian.
Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left.
What? If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-350-30